People, Deluded, I'm back again. Quick vid. What was I going to say? You obviously saw Mavropanos get his start. We've been clamouring on for him to start in the same way Chelsea fans, Hudson-Odoi and everybody else. I believe in taking the rough with the smooth. My personal opinion for Mavropanos tonight, I think he did alright. He's shown that he lacks exposure to this sort of level. He's shown that he's rough around edges. He's shown that to get to the level people say he can, and from what we hear, he's going to need to play. You can't get experience without getting experience. We're going to need him to go through shaky. I wouldn't even say it was shaky today, but it was a tough time for him in periods. It wasn't a tough game, but you not know what I mean, innit? It looked like Mavropanos, it looked like them strikers there for Watford would have got encouragement, but he needs this. He needs this. You're only going to get to that level by playing games, and that's why I'm so vocal on either him needing to get games here or go on loan elsewhere, because fair enough, his debut season or half a season when he came, he was meant to go out on loan. Wenger and the coach and stuff like what they saw, so he played a couple of games. I wouldn't say none of significance. He played United away and he played good against, who was it? West Ham, where he got sent off against Leicester. I'm sure he played against Chelsea in the Carling. He done alright in some games, but either way, it's a handful of games. It's enough to see, it's not really enough to see his level in it, sort of thing, people. This season, he might have played more first-team football if it wasn't for his own injuries. Ironically, at a period where he could have taken advantage of more senior-ranking players' injuries and made some advancements. Either way, he's had his own issues, and we obviously believe in him, but we don't always see on the outside. We're seeing it as he's hardly playing. He's not been named in the Europa League squad, even with a centre-half crisis. So what's being there? We also need to think, people, of what we don't see. Probably, maybe this is why Henrikh, it probably isn't, but all sides sort of thing, considering all sides, maybe this is why he isn't in the first team all the time, because he still needs to pattern up in several incidences or be a bit sharp or be a bit less naive. That's why he probably needs to go out on loan. I want him to play games here, but I also want another centre-half, people, because clearly we need one. So what would that mean? I feel he did all right with his passes. I feel some of his timing of tackles were good. The way he was trying to marshal was decent, but I did feel he shows his youthful naivety at times, challenging for the ball when his body positioning is all wrong, challenging for the ball where you don't necessarily need it. Not really positioning, but a bit of positioning. And as I say, I'd say people an element of rustiness as well, because he's hardly played. But you can only improve and get all of these things via playing football. He's probably not going to get a substantial run in the team this season in an ideal scenario where everybody's fit. But hopefully next season he gets more opportunities, or he goes on loan elsewhere where he can come back a more confident player. And I thought about this vid while I was watching the game, people. I was going to do it in another vid, but we might as well. Obviously, Aaron Ramsey's leaving. He's in the peak of his careers, but Aaron Ramsey's leaving. He's not on big wages, but he's on substantial wages here, right? And also, if we consider, we saw anything, he was linked with 200k a week to 400k a week, right, people, yeah? Stay with me. So that's Ramsey. Mkhitaryan has been linked with a move away, so he was thrown into my thinking, and we all know he's one of the highest earners at this club, and so is Mesut Ozil. Now, Ramsey's an exception. He's leaving for free. There's nothing we can do, and plus, slightly different age barrier to Ozil and Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan and Ozil, they're good players, creative players, some of the most creative players in our side, and they've both shown that at periods this season. And Mkhitaryan of recent, prior to his injuries, was on fire. But we've heard they're gonna move on and things like that. And when you consider their wages, the age, the way the club is at the moment, their own ages, in that they're at the wrong side of 30 per se, in that you're not really gonna get top dollar for them back, and you're running the risk of being kept with these players when they're at an age not really to command suitable offers and stuff like that. So in the name of, at least just, again, I would keep both of these players, but in the name of raising funds, moving players on that we can't build with as a future because we need to do things in several incidences, then I get the need to sell Mkhitaryan, Ozil, and obviously it doesn't matter what you would want to do with Ramsey, but Ramsey going to let these prospective wages or these wages in question be freed up to throw other wages about or deploy it in other useful resources. But by the same token, people, we're not City, we're not these teams where we're going to make wholesale changes. I'd be fully behind it. This is all hypothetical as well. I'd be fully behind it, but would it be wise, people, to let, considering Ramsey's going, to let Ozil and Mkhitaryan go, people? Because that's a lot of creativity out the side, you know. Again, especially because we know how Henrikh likes to play, in that them three there, he's used Ramsey in big games, Mkhitaryan's been used, Ozil's been used. They're all used for different contexts and stuff in games, people. They're creative players. They won't play all the time, but when the time comes, where would these creative players be if these three leave? Now, of course, we'd bring one in, but if we brought in one and he gets injured, or just that one, Does it fill you with any confidence, really, people? I wouldn't say I feel any sort of way, because I would love that new guy to come in, but if he needs rest or gets injured, what happens? Again, I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm not picking a side. I'm just giving you my thoughts out loud. But if we get El Cam now, or don't even say Cam, people. I say Cam. When I say Cam and 10, what I mean by that is the creative spark of the team. That can be a central midfielder. So don't get hung up on my creativity and my terminology for creativity. When I'm saying that, I mean regardless of if it's a Kevin De Bruyne sort, a Hazard sort, a Ozil sort, who is gonna bring creativity into this team? Do you see what I'm saying, people? I know you lot do. So if we let all of these lot go now, and we bring someone in, yeah, we bring someone in, but don't we look a bit light, sort of thing, people? And again, Ozil and Mkhitaryan, not to be their defenders, but they give us a bit of experience. You can't really underestimate that, in my opinion. So let's just say them lot did leave now with Ramsey, which is a definite departure. So that's 3. And we just look at this squad without talking about one coming in, people, like whether that be Ziyech or whatever in it. I would like that for my ex, but let's just talk about what would be in the squad right now in it. Now, we can assume that we'll bring people in, but let's just assume these lot are coming out and we're looking at what's in the squad now. Mkhitaryan and Ozil in this hypothetical world, people, have now left the club. Ramsey too. Where's the creativity in that side? You're looking at, for me anyways, I tried to narrow it down. You're probably looking at Emil Smith-Rowe, 10 and 8. He's being moulded into the 2 of them. Nelson could play in the 10, but that's not his thing. You're probably looking at Iwobi, who can play in that position. And then you're probably scratching your head, to be fair with you people. My one would probably be Guendouzi, because, again, he's not a 10, but when you're looking at everyone in that midfield, he is someone that's going to probably provoke positive goal-scoring situations, or someone that strengths are better offensively, or wants to express themselves a bit more offensively. Obviously, you can kind of say, depending, not what I would call it, but you can say Xhaka kind of does that. He shows a willingness to play them long-hitted passes, to try and dictate the tempo and try and find them passes. Do you see what I'm saying, people? But you see what I'm saying? This is all me reaching or being extremely critical or just looking at it. So one would come in, people. But if that one did come in, wouldn't we be a bit light? So Ramsey's gone. I guess the question would it be sensible to let Ozil and Mkhitaryan go? You could say on one hand, yes, because if we need it to rebuild and use that money to refund where we want to go with as a club, then yeah, but we'd probably have to bring in one marquee sort of creative man and probably have to be a bit smart and bring in another, because I would think there'd be a lack of creativity. Now, again, I'm overstating that because, of course, we've won games with them and we've won games without them this season, but I'm just giving you my thoughts out loud. If I was Unai Emery and I'm looking at, okay, cool, we've got, well, again, I'm paraphrasing because we know we need to insert stuff, but all right, cool. Looking in the pre-season, I've got creative players if I need this to happen. Defensive mids or players that are a bit defensive in terms of that. We've got, I don't know, wingers if games are going to be a bit open or I need to bring someone off the bench. We've got a poacher striker. We've got a striker that could be a target man. We've got one that's strengths are pacey. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're a manager, you want different players with different strengths according to different climates, because, again, I always give this example. It's just hypothetical, but how we play against Liverpool, we might beat them with a target man sort of thing, or playing 5 at the back. We might be better against City playing 4 at the back. We might have to play a 4-3-3 against Spurs, but we might have to play a 4-2-3-1 to beat United. You see what I'm saying? All of these games with different contexts. To get what I'm getting at, people, but I'm sure you are. On that note, I've got nothing more to say, people. I was meant to make this 2 vids, but I thought, you know what, let's just have it in one. On that note, I'm going to keep it moving. So, people, DG, I'm out.